What do we think? Happy New Year? New Year's, New Year's? No, we like it. Grant Highway's closed. It's a holiday. We're on our first walk of the year. It's gonna be a good one.
'Cause everything been going my way, and now they looking at me sideways. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. This is where I wanna be, nah, nah, nah. Never ever gonna leave, nah, nah, nah. You ain't gonna get it from me. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. This is where I wanna stay, nah, nah, nah. I could do this every day, nah, nah, nah. It don't matter what they say. I'm like, nah, 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 nah. Say, hey, I've been on the wave. It's a party, make
Hello.
it toast. It's a
Hi,
party.
friends. Welcome to another studio vlog. I haven't done this in a really long time. By this point, you've seen some swimming, some beautiful shots of the bay. You've also seen a cabin in the woods. It was my birthday yesterday. It was also New Year's. I took a couple of days off, and so did my partner. And yesterday on my birthday, I woke up early. I walked the dogs. It happened to be sunny, which was epic. It's been raining a ton here. And then I did a workout. I really like doing strength training. And then I went and swam in the bay. And then when I got back, we drove up to my family's cabin. My family has a little cabin in the woods that my grandpa and grandma built in the 70s. And I love coming up here in the wintertime because I have a hard time sitting still, and it makes me sit still. I have coffee and make breakfast and build a fire and read and do pretty much fuck all the whole time, and it's great. I am working right now on sketches for mystery paintings for people who purchase them over the holidays. I do not enjoy doing custom work where I am just doing a realistic portrait of a family. That's not for me. That's for some people. Turns out wonderful. I actually, in fact, purchased one from an artist who I really love of my dog Lucy, who recently passed. But for me, in my creative practice, I enjoy doing paintings that are a little bit weird, that I don't quite know what's going to happen, and where I can be open to strange things happening within the paintings. So in 2015, 2016, knowing that about myself, I created my mystery painting project. And then it eventually fell away because I had to focus on other things, and I'm bringing it back. And so I have a bunch of people who are wonderful and excited to have surprise paintings with strange, weird things happening in them. And I have to work on the sketches for them. So I'm working on the sketches today. We'll do that together. It's going to be in pencil. I'm talking really fast. I'm sorry. I just, I'm excited. And also you're not watching this because you want to watch me talk at you. So let's get to me drawing, and we'll do that together. We can talk about it while I'm doing it. All right. Bye. All right. It's voiceover Lindsay. I've never done this before, so hopefully it's not horrible. If you hate voiceovers, you can just mute me. I thought it'd be cool for me to be able to talk to you about what it is that you're watching. I like to create small thumbnails of the things that I'm going to paint. A lot of my paintings are inventive and playful, and that's how I like them to be. I kind of like to not overplan them. That being said, it is really hard for me to get to a place in my paintings where I can play and be inventive if I don't plan a little bit. So I can't be thinking about what the composition is and playing at the same time, if that makes sense. I like to play, like what's happening in that fireplace? Is that a whole nother scene? Is that painting a different scene of something else? Is there a weird pattern on that chair? Those are the places I like to have fun. It's hard for me to do that if I'm like worried about what it is that this setting even is. For these mystery paintings, they're interiors. So I had the people who got the mystery paintings send me photos of their interiors, of like a special place for them in their house or in a place they visit very often or a childhood home, so that I could recreate that space. And then in all of the different spaces, which is something I've been doing in a lot of paintings I've been doing for fun, I include other things that are important to them. So like in that mirror above the mantle, rather than it being a reflection of the space, it's going to be a different landscape of a place that she mentioned in her questionnaire. I like to do all of these thumbnails in pencil. I am using a Pentel mechanical pencil. I think it's a size 0.9. I like it when the lead is a little thicker right now. I say right now because I might change my mind. And I like the lead to be pretty soft. So like HB or B is what I tend to enjoy. So I work on these for like maybe filling up a whole sketch page. I try to tend to like get a bunch of different ideas down, make it so that I have a bunch of things to pull from. And then I'm going to create some color mocks next week and work on the paintings. And hopefully I'll get to share some of that process with you. It's going to be a lot of fun. I love doing these mystery paintings and I'm excited about the interiors. So I thought I would also share with you another commission painting that I've been working on. This one's for my friend Alice, and it's a little different than the sketches you saw before. The sketches that you saw before are kind of a little bit more of a formula. Those are more of what I do now, but this painting, Alice and I have been talking about me making it for her for a few years now. Sometimes that's just how it works. People know exactly what they want, and sometimes people need a little time to figure out exactly what they want. And this happened exactly how it's supposed to happen. I love this painting. She just received it and was so stoked on it, which is probably the only reason I'm sharing this. I wouldn't share it if she didn't receive it or see it, but yeah, I love it. This is all in gouache. Her only parameters was that it be monochrome. So I did not want to do black and white. I decided I would do blue and white. So I did this like ultramarine blue, white, and then a little black to create some of the deeper shades. And then she wanted a non-monochrome monarch butterfly. So I did the monarch butterfly in the sky, and to just kind of make it so it wasn't make it so it wasn't like such a, I don't know, like contrast, because I wanted it to be a little softer than that. I added that like yellow glow on the trees and almost like it's a sunrise or a sunset or something. So, and that's the same yellow that was used for the monarch. I just felt like that softened it up a little bit. And I feel like it also gave it this optimism that I think was being asked for in the painting. Alice didn't ask for it, but I just felt like that's what I wanted there to be, was a little bit of hope, a little bit of optimism. Maybe I needed it. Sometimes that's how it works. But yeah, it was really fun to make this painting. It's based on some smaller landscape paintings that I created in 2021. So the premise for those paintings was like the person or the hikers like coming out of this like super wooded forest, kind of like a deep dark forest. So it's really dark at the bottom. And then you can kind of feel it opening up, like almost that moment when you're on a hike and you're in the valley of trees, and then it opens up into the field or the rolling hills in this case, and kind of the trees space themselves out a little bit more and feels a little bit like you get to breathe and you're surprised by your surroundings. So that's what the premise was for this. Again, infusing it with optimism, thinking about color, trying to tell a story without necessarily telling someone what the story is. I loved working on this. It was so much fun. And I'm just so grateful for people like Alice who trust me to create something in the way that I'm going to create it. Again, I feel like that's just our hope as creative people. It's definitely my hope as a creative person, is that people hire me to do the thing that I love doing, right? It's hard sometimes to get to that place, but when you're there, it's pretty special. Doing the glow on the trees was one of my favorite parts. This is on cold press paper, so it's 300-pound Arches cold press paper. And sometimes people ask why I use cold press paper instead of hot press paper. I like hot press paper and I do use it, but it depends on the project. I just knew I was going to do this glow on these trees, and the texture of the paper almost does a lot of the work for you. So you can see some of that like pebbly texture that starts to happen where it grips the paint. And there's like this natural like highs and lows of the color that starts to show the blue through, and kind of just beautifully distributes the paint in a way that it would be almost impossible to do on like a smooth hot press paper texture. So I love working on commissions. I don't often do these types of commissions. I'm starting to take them on a little bit more, but I just find it's sometimes hard because people don't quite know what they want. It's also hard to ask people to trust me. It's easier for people to trust me to make something like a surprise if they sign up for it in that way. So that's why I made those mystery paintings, right? Like people purchase it knowing it's going to be a surprise, and I tell them explicitly that I'm not going to tell them what it's going to be. So in a way, it's like, you know, they know what they're signing up for. Whereas I think when people have like an open-ended commission, it's hard to get people to sign on to the contract of like trusting me to make something that I'm excited about and that they'll be excited about. But that's how I think about commissioned work. I hope you enjoy watching this. I'm just going to throw some music on. You can put me on mute if you want, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. I have not done a YouTube video in a really long time, mainly just because it's a lot of work and hard to edit, and I'm not super great at those things, but my goal this year is to get better at it. I love that I can showcase kind of like longer form things with you, and so let me know what you want to see more of. I would love to hear about it. I would love to incorporate more things that you're excited about into my videos if I can. All right, I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the music. Bye.